Welcome back to the Bike Forge. Today's episode is again titled Hurra Scheunenfund. Marlon certainly got in touch with us and really made an amazing barn find. The most powerful motorcycle or production motorcycle in the world, which was launched in 1978, has been incredibly presented to us. We are setting off on the long journey to Dortmund and are very excited about what awaits us there. Have fun. Yes, we have been on the road for about 4 hours just before Dortmund. Really terrible weather. It has been raining the whole time. Let's hope that we find Marlon in his underground garage. So we are now in the middle of Dortmund, and somewhere here beneath all the concrete lies the monster from the Far East. So we really found the garage. Let's see. So we have now arrived at Marlon's place, and it turns out that he is also a bit of a hunter and collector.
Definitely.
I think you are also a mechatronics technician.
Trained bicycle mechatronics and goalkeeper technician.
How do you come to all these classics? You're still just a young blood.
Yes, I just think that I started restoring old Vespas. The real ones with the gear shift, metal Vespas and so on. Cool. Yeah, that's where the love for old technology comes through with carburetors and fuel injection. It's all too modern for me. Clear technology? Yes, exactly. You can simply repair everything yourself with the tools. No computer or knowing where the power comes from or where it goes. Yes, just honest technology, and then you'll switch to motorcycles. Exactly. It should be something proper. A scooter is quite different after all.
And how did you come by the monster?
It was by chance through some contacts, and someone mentioned that there was one sitting around, so I drove down to Heppenheim, and there it was. In the barn, registered since '88. It's amazing.
Well, I also have a motorcycle, but it's not cheap to have the camera in front of you.
No, the previous owner bought it directly from the dealer.
You sent.
The dealer only rode it a little bit somehow, and then it went to his son. Exactly. And then the previous owner, who had only ridden the bike for a few years, was no longer allowed to ride it for certain reasons and put it away. And it was always this, as you often hear, yeah, someday I'll ride again, someday I'll finish it, and then 30 years have passed.
They are almost 35 years old now, and it has been standing here for about 2 or 3 years. I know that if it doesn't go somewhere else, it will just rot away. We also want to thank you for the offer. This is, of course, a piece of motorcycle history, and that has to be said. This was a very special point in development. Before that, there was Benelli, who started around the same time with 6 cylinders, and Honda was actually one of the best, while Kawasaki had even more power with 300,000 cubic centimeters. It was a latecomer that said they had to do something. It was a crazy time back then. When you look at the bikes with those fork tubes, well, that's already a ProLink with a ventilated disc and then a 6-cylinder with 100 HP behind it. That's just insane. And the sound is amazing. When a bike runs, it's beautiful. I wanted to have one just because you watch those YouTube videos and it sounds incredible when you twist the throttle and you're just gone. I believe there were only 400 of the ProLink in Germany back then. Those were the reinforced ones. They had reinforced swing arms, a different braking system, and the other one always started to wobble a bit. In 74? No, 78. When did they build the first one? 74, not the first 6-cylinder, and the ProLink was the improved version. Yes, exactly, they slightly revised it with a pneumatic shock absorber. The engine is the same, even though it has 2 HP less. They didn't change anything. But back then, there were these regulations with insurance and 98 HP. Yes, but this engine looks a bit sharper than the Kawasaki engine. With that air cooling, it really stands out. And then those pipes coming out with those 6 carburetors, you have to say that. With Kawasaki, they always combined 2 into 1, so there are 3 carburetors. That carburetor band looks simple. I was also into a 1200 with carburetors, oil cooled. That's really my style. I would have liked to ride it, but life always gets in the way. Do you live around here, or do you have to drive a bit if you want to work on it? Yes, 2001, yes. I always appreciate that in our village, or if you have everything together, that's always nice. You can also quickly have my workshop, and if he swims a little further ahead, it will be worth it too. Yes, but it's still here.
Are you already looking to see where you can go and so on?
It's cool when you have it, when you can share the whole thing. Yes, then it works too.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we did our apprenticeship together. Not at the same company, but...
Yes. Marlon, we are looking forward to a little tour with you. Yes, let's take a look around. So the gate is opening. That looks good. The beast is all the way in the back, as it always is. We need to roll one out first. This one is also nice. Here. It's really beautifully old style.
He is actually just pretending.
But they have always leaned on the old designs. Yes, Royal Enfield. I believe we even built a diesel motorcycle. Where are they scraping at the back? Or if you haven't put any kilometers on it yet, then the first ones must still be there. Attack.
In some cases, you might have a pneumatic suspension system installed on your vehicle. This advanced system is designed to be adjustable, allowing you to modify it to 3 distinct levels of stiffness. These levels can be changed while you are riding, providing a customizable experience that enhances comfort and performance according to your preferences and the terrain you are navigating. Here, pressure builds up, which is normal, as there is a car valve inside, and also at the front on the forks. Everything is interconnected. Did the previous models have this too? No, right. This is precisely the ProLink thing. And exactly that with the single-sided aluminum swing arm, with the central spring strut. We also had 2 individual spring struts on the CB. It already has the internally ventilated double discs at the front. This is also new with the ProLink. And the entire fairing. That didn't exist before. It was only available in naked.
Alright, let's see how we can get this Iron Pig onto the small pickup.
So definitely the wrong car for that. And I am the wrong guy for it.
I hope we both have a good breakfast, because I have to hold the camera. Do it, do it, do it. In the year 2001, everything seemed to be at ease, and in a state of calmness. It was a time when things appeared to be more relaxed and laid back, as you might observe in various aspects of life. People went about their daily routines with a sense of tranquility, and the atmosphere was generally peaceful. This period was marked by a noticeable absence of the usual hustle and bustle, allowing individuals to take a step back and appreciate the simpler things in life, as you can imagine. But still pushed with smooth tires.
So, thank you, and definitely, absolutely come by the place. Then you can take a closer look, and I'll also do a little small warm-up together. All right, friends, we have landed back in familiar territory, having driven here just before the rain, which means, thankfully, we arrived dry. Not much will happen today, but tomorrow we will take a glance at this superbike here, and I'm really looking forward to it. It was deregistered in 1988 and then pushed into this barn, where it sat for an incredible, astonishing 35 years, until Marlon found it in 2001. What a story. We are going to check out this motorcycle, which was an absolute sensation at the time. You have to imagine, motorcycles like this didn't exist until then. It was equipped with a 6-cylinder inline motorcycle engine, developed almost simultaneously with Benelli. Back then, you had to build something a bit more extreme to try your luck in the motorcycle market. and Benelli and Honda started that trend. Later, Kawasaki followed suit with their Zethan 300, which we will also introduce in this video. But today, let's first take a little look at this barn find, the Honda CBX 1000 from the early years. Honda was pretty much the first company and also the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world at that time to mass produce these six-cylinder bikes. There are also wild stories surrounding this. If you do a little research online, you'll find that they sent a team of engineers to a military airfield, and they spent days recording the sound of jet engines. The background to this is that Honda managers commissioned the designers to construct this motorcycle so that the six-cylinder inline engine would sound like a jet engine, and they supposedly almost succeeded. The entire line of the bike is amazing. I think it all fits together beautifully, magnificently. The saddlebags are not overdone, and the whole entire thing object is in pearlescent. If we take a close look at the tank, it shimmers pearlescent with a slight blue azure accent. And here at the front is this incredible, astonishing six-cylinder inline motorcycle engine that is planted in this chassis, just simply to give you a little small portrait depiction. Of course, we will do a larger portrait once we have cleaned the machine. We haven't done anything to it yet, and if he looks at the chrome here, it's almost like brand new. I went over it with a cloth. The seat is a bit yellowed because it has spent so many years in this barn, but here I've already started a little bit with the cleaning agent. Yes, we still have the stickers on here, the warning stickers and information stickers, which were originally attached to the motorcycle and are still like new. Yes, if you take a look at the foot pegs, the rubber on the foot pegs, it all still looks as if no one has ever ridden it. Yes, there is absolutely no wear on it, just like with the rider. And the machine has low kilometers. That's actually nothing for such an engine. It's just been broken in. If you take a look at the instruments up front, it's 2001. So here we have the tachometer. Then we have a nice analog clock and temperature gauges, one for the oil and one for the water temperature. Then we have the oil pressure gauge. We need to check what that is. And at the back we have the outside temperature display, which is certainly part of the cooling system. Also, the exhaust pipes. If you take a look, they aren't even blue. There's not a single blemish on them, and everything can be restored beautifully. The rims were among the first aluminum rims ever made, with aluminum spokes that were riveted together. They weren't cast as a whole. Instead, we have the disc brakes at the front and back. The forks were slightly reinforced in the later model. In the first model, the CBX, the forks were a bit weaker. Then they built the Pro line starting in '81, where they reinforced the forks and also strengthened the rear swing arm because they were a bit wobbly. Here we have a nice crash bar, somewhat reminiscent of the American Harley. Just look at the amazing chrome when you clean it. It's incredible. It's really fun to get this machine back in working order. Every sticker on this machine is still in great condition. Usually, they have all faded or flaked off over time. Everything is still very well preserved here. We also have a helmet holder attached at the back, and there's a disc brake as well. You couldn't really see what a machine is all about at first glance, but over the next few days, we will take a closer look at everything. This is just a quick overview to take you along with us on this find when you first examine it.
Look at the oil check. We have such clean oil here, as if an oil change was just done, which suggests that the engine is still in really good shape. I'm really looking forward to the first start after 35 years. It's very easy to operate the clock. You have a small adjuster here that you pull out a bit, and you can set the clock accordingly. Completely uncomplicated. There are still small compartments and flaps everywhere. Let's take another look inside the side panel to see what's in there. Yes, we still have the original Honda bonus manual, which is in German, the bicycle book, which also received such a nice thick book. All possible maintenance procedures and how to fix anything related to the motorcycle are included in there. It was quite normal back in those years. And here we have the USAND deregistration certificate. The motorcycle was taken out of service on October 14th, 1988 and has not been put back into operation since then. Simply amazing. Just take a look at this carburetor bridge here. We have 6 carburetors here. Look, this is what it looks like when you give it gas. Just some crazy stuff. You can imagine the power that builds up when each cylinder is fired individually. Here we have the vehicle registration document again. The first owner registered it for the first time in 1984, which was a year after the production of these motorcycles had ceased, making it one of the last remaining models available for sale. The machine will now be slightly revised by us. Of course, we will keep the charm of the machine intact, so we won't be repainting anything here or rechroming any parts. Everything as we found it, we will just restore it and then present the machine to you again when it is running, to also show you this amazing 2001 6-cylinder inline engine in action. What are you looking at? Wow, 2001. Yes, that's our barn trip so far. I think it was definitely worth it. Many thanks again to Marlon, and I believe he is now also making progress financially with his other projects. Have you seen it? The stone is still full of other classics. We will present the bike to you on the road in no time. You should subscribe to our channel here so that you don't miss anything. Feel free to leave us a few likes and hearts. We appreciate that too. Until next time, rock and roll.